Welcome to Check Your Liddy TV, and what we have for you today is a situation brief for the SS Kampfgrupps as they advance during the Scottish Corridor pint-sized campaign. Okay, so the timeline for the current pint-sized campaign. I'm going to use these little markers to indicate where there's an engagement or a battle. I'm going to use these to indicate who has the initiative, and I'll just place them here to say who has the initiative. I'll use this to indicate if a Kampfgruppe has consolidated, and I'll use this to indicate if the Brits play their wild card. Okay, so the first turn, the Germans have the initiative, and it's with Kampfgruppe Frey. They attack and they go forward from 7 till 8 on table 6. They have a battle and they win. We now go to Kampfgruppe Weidinger. It's still the Germans' initiative. They're here. They go from should go from 8 till 9, but they roll to see if they're delayed by the 49th Division, and they are. So it's now 8, 9, it's now 10 a.m. The Brits can either choose to attack or take a field fortification. In this instance, they take a field fortification. So now that would have the Brits holding the initiative from that at that time. But now we go back to this end of the campaign ladder, and automatically Frey gets the initiative because they're attacking and they've got no delays. So they move up to table 5, and they battle there from 10 till 11. They're victorious, and at the end of that, they consolidate. Now we go back to here. It's still the Germans' initiative, and they get ready to move on to table 2. They roll to see if they're successful. They're delayed. The Brits can either attack back here again, or they can use the opportunity to place a minefield. They place a minefield at Mondreville. The Germans go forward and they fight there. And the battle there goes from 11 till 12 till 1. The battle's over at 1 o'clock and they're victorious. We come back here. This Kampfgruppe is consolidated, so the initiative switches to the the Brits, and the Brits decide to play their wild card between the hours of 1 and 2. The battle is fought and completed at 2 o'clock, and so now we go back to Kampfgruppe Weidinger. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They're here, they roll to move on to the next table, and they're delayed. So 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, what are the Brits going to do? We wait to see what they're going to do. They attack. So this battle takes place and is over by 4 o'clock. So they fight here. The Germans are successful, and it's the battle is over. We now go back to this end of the line, and it's the Brits get the initiative, and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They can choose to counterattack here or take a field fortification. What are they going to do? Well, the options are as follows. So it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They have the initiative. The reason they have the initiative is not through a delay. It's just simply we've come back to Kampfgruppe Frey, so the Jocks get the initiative. So they could then attack here and fight from 4 till 5 here. Let's assume that they do that. That battle will be over by 5. So now from 5 till 6, we would fight here because the Germans have the initiative. So now that battle's over, and then we go back to the Jocks, and then they could attack again here, and we could fight another battle here from 6 till 7 o'clock at night, and let's assume that that's over. The initiative switched back to the Germans, and so that battle's over by 7, so it means they would fight this battle here from 7 till 8, and after 8 o'clock the campaign ends regardless. That's if they exercise the attack option. If they decide not to attack, and they just take a field fortification. Then at 5 o'clock, the Germans go forward to here. They have the initiative, and now that battle goes until 6 p.m. Once that battle's completed, the initiative switches back to the Germans, and that means they have the initiative from 6 till 7. And that means at 7 o'clock, the final attack, assuming they don't get delayed, would be here, and that would go from 7 till 8, and the battle is over by 8 p.m. anyway. But now the Brits have got an extra field fortification that they can use. So they're their options. And the movement of those counters is all assuming, based on the assumptions that the Germans would win each engagement. And obviously, if the Brits win, then that's a whole nother different kettle of fish. But I'm putting this out there, working on worst case scenarios for the 15th Scottish Division. Okay, that's all. That's an update. That's where we're at. And let's see what happens next. Will the Highlanders fall back to the outskirts of Colleyville, or will they attempt a third attack at Mondreville? We shall see. Stay tuned. Gubik away.